Get hold of this stuff." The man in the coat smiled. "No, sir," he said. "We surely wouldn't." The counterman pecked the order into an antique computer and took payment in cash. He directed his customer around to the loading dock to pick up his fertilizer. 10 minutes later, the man in the black canvas chore coat turned the old blue Ford pickup onto the county highway, headed northeast. It was his second stop that day. 3 more before nightfall. Right on schedule. Part 1. Chapter 1. There was a pit bull under the front porch, and it didn't want to come out. Young Charlie Johnson said, "That dang dog's been there for weeks, sir. It already ate up all the cats and dogs around here. I can't even let my dang little brother out the front door no more." The 100-year-old house sat on a narrow lot on the edge of a battered Milwaukee neighborhood that, like the house, had seen better days. It was early November, not warm, not even by Wisconsin standards. The leaves had already fallen from the skeletal trees that towered overhead. But the sun was out, which counted for something, and the sky was a high, pale morning blue. Not a morning for static. Not at all. Peter Ash said, "Just how big is this dog?" Charlie shook his head. "Never seen it up close, sir, and never in daylight, but it's awfully dang big, I can tell you that." "Didn't you call animal control?" "Oh, my mama called," said Charlie. 2 men came, took one look under there, got right back in their truck and drove away." Charlie wore a school uniform, a light blue permanent press dress shirt, dark blue polyester dress pants, and giant polished black shoes on his oversized feet. He was the kind of skinny, big-eared 12-year-old kid who could eat 6 meals a day and still be hungry. But his eyes were older than his years. They didn't miss a thing. He was watching Peter Ash now. Peter sat on the closed lid of a wooden toolbox, his wide, knuckly hands on the work-worn knees of his carpenter's jeans, peering through the narrow access hatch cut into the rotted pine slats enclosing the space under the porch. He had to admit the dog sounded big. He could hear it growling back there in the darkness, like a tank engine on idle, only louder. He had a .45 under the seat of his pickup, but he didn't want to use it. It wasn't the dog's fault, not really. It was hungry and scared and alone, and all it had was its teeth. On the other hand, Peter had told Charlie's mother, Dinah, that he would fix the rotting supports beneath her ancient porch. She hadn't mentioned the dog. Peter really couldn't blame her. Her husband had killed himself, and it was Peter's fault. Peter was lean and rangy, muscle and bone, nothing extra. His long face was angular, the tips of his ears slightly pointed, his dark hair the unruly shag of a buzz cut grown wild. He had the thoughtful eyes of a werewolf a week before the change. Some part of him was always in motion. Even now, sitting on that toolbox, peering under that porch, his knee bobbed in time to some interior metronome that never ceased. He'd fought 2 wars over 8 years, with more deployments than he cared to remember. The tip of the spear. He'd be 31 in January. As he bent to look through the narrow access hatch under the porch, he could feel the white static fizz and pop at the base of his skull. That was his name for the fine-grained sensation he lived with now, the white static. A vague crackling unease, a dissonant noise at the edge of hearing. It wasn't quite uncomfortable, not yet. The static was just reminding him that it didn't want him to go inside. Peter knew it would get worse before he was done, so he might as well get to it. The space under the porch was about 3 feet high, maybe 12 feet wide and 12 deep with a dirt floor. About the size of 4 freshly dug graves laid sideways. The smell was rank, worse than a sergeant's feet after 2 months in a combat outpost, but not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse. Light trickled in through the slatted sides of the porch, but shadows shrouded the far corner, some kind of cast-off crap back there, and that growl he could just about feel through the soles of his boots. It would be good to do this without being chewed on too much. He went out to his truck and found a cordless trouble light, some good rope, and a length of old handrail. White oak, 1 3/4 inches thick, maybe 18 inches.